eBay. It's a classic place where I go to get merch from places and things that I can't really get in the store, or things that are older than me that I like to collect. Most of you guys know me as the Sonic guy, and that's what I want to be known as. And a lot of my collection comes from eBay. But I love collecting other things besides Sonic. I love Ninja Turtles, I love Nintendo, I love different animes, I love comic books. Another thing that I've started to collect these past few years has been Simpsons. Now, I'm not gonna say Simpsons is my favorite thing ever, and honestly, some of the stuff they say about, like, Jesus and stuff is not my favorite. But a lot of their stuff is hilarious and a classic American cartoon.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
So I've been getting really deep into the franchise here recently, and I started my collection when Jakks Pacific first got the license to The Simpsons, which was in 2023 or 2024. I have almost every single figure from Wave 1, and I have the entire family, plus Krusty, and I have Moe's phone and the evil Krusty doll, but that stuff is great. But I classify that stuff as modern Simpsons, which most people know is not really the best thing. As somebody who loves 90s merchandise and the whole 90s/80s aesthetic, I've always loved the original Simpsons. I've watched about every single clip of the Tracy Ullman Simpsons, and it's hilarious, and I love how messy it looks. In my opinion, there is no better piece of merchandise that captures this look for The Simpsons than the 1990 set of Burger King plushies. And this previous Christmas, my mom got them for me for Christmas, and turns out the guy scammed me. It was about 20 or 30 bucks for the whole set, and that's a pretty valid price for what they're going for. But unfortunately, he just took my mom's money, and I didn't get the plushies. But my family has decided to go thrifting at a local antique store, and I want to know, maybe they might have them. If they do, that'll be awesome, but who knows? And plus, antique stores are a great place to build any collection. Every time I go to one, I at least find something Ninja Turtles. And hey, Sonic's growing in popularity. Maybe something Sonic will be there. Hi, my name is Speed Turtles, and let's go to the antique store. Alright guys, we're here in the antique store, and what's cool about this one is that you actually get to eat here, and that's what I've always liked about this. So we're gonna go around and check out if there's anything Simpsons, anything Sonic, anything Mario, anything that we're really interested on the channel, Ninja Turtles. So yeah, I'll just show you guys what we find. Alright guys, right off the bat, we found this subsection that has a bunch of cool stuff. You guys know I'm into Marvel Legends, but unfortunately, this vendor only had Eternals Marvel Legends. And as for Simpsons, they had this cool Groundskeeper Willie, like, pillow type thing. And I ended up not getting that, but I saw Genesis games, and I picked this one up, and there it was. Sonic Spinball for the Genesis. Now, I have multiple copies of this game, but I do not have it for the Genesis. But honestly, I just didn't know if I was going to get it because that's not really my favorite game. I saw this cool Raph from TMNT 2007, and I saw a whole thing of Watchmen comics. Now, I have not actually read the Watchmen, and I know that is like an absolute crime, but I just haven't. But this is where things get really good because my friend Awana Media loves this character, Night Thrasher. Go ahead and subscribe to him. And I actually saw a Night Thrasher comic in the wild, and this cable comic is cool too. Now, on the back of this one, they have the Simpsons, like, game or something. I think it was an ad for the Simpsons comics about Sideshow Bob coming back, and that was cool. They also had Sonic 2 here for the Genesis, but it was just kind of overpriced. But as soon as I stop recording, my brother calls my name, and then he shows it to me. Yes, the Marge from the set. I can't believe we actually found it. And notice the fact that she has the price tag around her neck. At this point, I didn't know if I was going to actually come home with her, so I hid her behind that. And here's a bunch of cool retro Mario toys. But what was cool, I saw that Peanuts book, and I love Peanuts. I mean, like, I was wearing a Peanut shirt while recording this. But anyways, it's so cool because there were so many cool things in the store. I take a look. I have the Sonic Crocs here. It's crazy. And I have that Diddy Kong figure, but he's just broken. And it was just cool to see one. When I was a kid, I used to read a bunch of Goosebumps books, and my dad showed me this cool Slappy shirt. But my brother found all these Ninja Turtle cards. But what made me mad was the fact that they were $8 a piece. Are we serious? That was a problem with this thrift store, was that everything was so overpriced. Now, they had a Shonen Jump magazine and a bunch of gaming magazines, and that one had Super Saiyan Goku. And that's when I saw the Simpsons wrestling magazine cover. That was cool. I found a Marge Burger King toy and a Futurama Volume 2 DVD set. And this is where I was trying to look for the Sonic OVA. Now, it's always a goal of mine to find the Sonic OVA on VHS, because I've always wanted it and I've just never found it. So, and spoiler alert, I did not find it, but it was still cool to see. They had Sonic Free Riders here and a bunch of cool Dragon Ball games, and my brother found this cool Leo. But what my mom finds next is probably the funniest thing in the entire video. To show the camera what it is. This is a Bart Simpson hoodie, but it has his hands coming out of it. That's so cool. Here I saw a retro Woody, and the reason why I filmed this is because when I was in 5th grade, I was obsessed with like the deep, intricate lore of behind the scenes of Toy Story and collecting all the super legit Disney Store Toy Story toys, and that was just a good time to be alive, and it's crazy that we're getting a 5th one. It's so weird because every time I go to one of these antique malls type things, I always see the Mutant Mayhem figures, and they're always so overpriced. I mean, I know they were $10 when they came out, but $7 for a repackaged Mikey is just way too much. Now here was something actually pretty crazy. This is the Sonic Movie 3 Jack specific 13-inch Sonic plush. Now, I have the one from Sonic 2, and that's why I didn't pick this guy up, because they are literally the same plushie, just a different tag. But it's cool to see that it's here. And it was a little bit overpriced, but I understand that these sellers, you know, they gotta make a profit somehow. So, yeah, we just ended up leaving him there. I guess in this video, I'm just telling you guys everything I like, and so that's why I filmed that. This is a Garfield and Odie mug, and I've always loved Garfield. I have Garfield and Odie window grabbers in my car, and so any chance I get to see some cool classic 80s Garfield merch, you know I gotta capture the moment. What's crazy is that this place was truly was like an antique maze. I was literally going downstairs, upstairs, all around this place because it is so big. Another cool thing I saw was Spy X Family issues 1 through 9. Spy X Family has gotta be definitely my favorite new gen anime. And when I came around, I saw another one of my favorite new gen animes. It was The Promised Neverland was here, issues 1 through 16 of the manga, and it was only $100. And every manga is $10, and they were brand new, so these had to be a good deal. I saw this Luigi, and it's the Dave & Buster's Luigi, as I call him, just the one you can get at Dave & Buster's, so I just passed him off. But if you're watching and your height is like 3'2", they have Sonic and Mario robes for you right here. Another cool thing that this place had was this vendor had made like those classic wooden Halloween decoration type art projects of Mario and Luigi, and you know, the third Mario brother, Mickey Mouse. You know, they're best friends. So yeah, they had them there, and I just loved it. They had some Marvel Legends, and I was pretty hyped because I saw that Fantastic Four logo. Just listen to the disappointment right here. What did I just find? Oh, what a letdown.
What a letdown.
$12 for Invisible Woman. It's actually pretty valid. You guys couldn't really see the figure, but the figure was Psycho Man, and it's literally the most common retro carded Fantastic Four figure. They also had a Sonic clock, another one, but it was classic Sonic this time. But back the whole Fantastic Four thing. Invisible Woman and Psycho Man have to be the two most common, cheapest Fantastic Four figures that you can get. And, you know, like I said, how things are overpriced, they were just too overpriced for how cheap you can really get them. My brother found this cool Switch case with Sonic on it, and I just love that Yuji Uekawa art. They also have the Peach figure from the first Mario movie, but that was just way too overpriced because, I mean, it was like $16, but especially because you can get the first wave of Mario Movie 1 figures for like $11 right now on Amazon, so I just passed her up. Throughout this video, you're going to see me filming random locations, and the reason that is because this place looks so old, like it just has this backrooms type feeling, so I just had to capture that on camera. So, like I mentioned, this place has an upstairs, and once I went upstairs, my dad pointed this huge comic book section out, and it was just crazy. It was filled with so many cool comics, but most of them, as you're seeing, was Birds of Prey, and I do not like them, so I just kind of passed up that, but I had a lot of cool Daredevil and a lot of cool Alpha Flight, which you know I love, and yeah, a lot of Wolverine, Venom, you know, the stuff you're just better see. I thought this was really cool. This is the Ultimates issue 1 for $3. I passed it up because I'm not the biggest fan of the Ultimate Universe when it comes to the Avengers. I just don't like Captain America. He's just kind of annoying to me. So I passed it up, but here was more of those backrooms type feelings. They also had a comic book store who has a vendor in the actual antique store, and they had a bunch of cool stuff. This was really cool to me. They have an inbox Toy Biz Bullseye, and it's from the Galactus Build-A-Figure wave, so you know I had to get that on camera. They also had one of my Grails. This retro card Moon Knight is one of my favorites. It's only $18, which is a great price, but I just didn't pick them up. I do not condone drinking. I don't support it, but the fact that they had this from this video, that is just hilarious to me. And it's not an antique store without a creepy elf. Well, guys, I'm back from the thrift store, and check it out. We have acquired the 1990 Burger King Marge plush. Keep in mind, guys, this is so cool because think about this. When this came out, not even Sonic 1 was out. This is 1990, a year before the first Sonic game ever released. It's just an honor to have this in the collection, especially because, I mean, I got scammed and now I finally have her in my hands. Unfortunately, I do not have any of the other members of the family, but hey, maybe throughout the course of my life and the course of this channel, we'll get the other members of the family. You may have noticed in the video I said, notice how she has the tag around her neck. Here's what happened. As I was walking around the store, looking for some more stuff to add to the collection, I noticed something. Her tag fell off. The reason why that's so important is because the way that this works is that it's vendors who have shops who you just check out, and they get, the people who own the place get a little money, and the people who own the actual booth, they get a little bit of money. Someone who's trying to steal this or anything could easily just rip the tag off and say, oh, it was $5, when in reality it was like 15 or 10. It was $9.50. I wasn't gonna lie. I was gonna tell them it was $9.50. But, you know, they don't know. They don't know me. They don't know my morals. They don't know that. I could easily just be lying to them. So that kind of started up a problem, but so they just had to send the guy a text message, and he was like, yeah, it was $9.50, and so they charged $9.54. Which I'm so glad that that guy responded, because if it didn't, that would have been really bad. Another thing you might have noticed was that person yelling 49 and clapping and cheering. It's actually so funny because there's a story behind that. The antique store was relatively quiet, besides the music playing. And since the antique store deals with all genres of time, they were playing music from the 60s and music from the 90s. There was just this group of moms absolutely being public menaces, screaming this one girl's name over and over and over. Every time a song came on, they were like,
You're gonna love our pizza.
a bunch of funny stuff like that is what makes the trips all worthwhile. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you saw anything in the video that you thought was cool, be sure to comment down below and I'll make sure to respond. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and make sure to like and subscribe so that Sega can notice me. Always remember, Jesus loves you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
You put down the phone.